All right, so we're going to get into bold predictions here, guys. I want bold predictions for the season. I want one from each of you.
I got two. Can I please do two?
You got two? All right. You know what? Then I'll start with you, Josh. I'll start with you. Give me two.
I couldn't decide. between these two. All right. Do you want me to do both of them now or one and come back?
Do one and then we'll come back to you.
All right. So bold prediction, Waddle leads the team in receptions, in receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns.
I love it. Now, you guys, we talked about that one before the show. And I think this is something that, Anthony, you had the same thing, and I had the same thing. That was one of my bold predictions as well. I passed. Now, full disclosure, guys, I passed up on Tyreek Hill in the first round of my fantasy football draft to draft CeeDee Lamb instead of Tyreek Hill. And
Dallas's only target.
What's that?
It's Dallas's only target.
Well, yeah, but
you gotta.
But a guy who just had back-to-back 1,700-yard seasons, I should have. Conventional wisdom says I should have targeted him. But you know what?
I picked him.
What's that?
I had CD and him, and I picked Tyreek.
So I get it, and you know what? I don't think you're wrong. I don't think
any of us are wrong. It's a fantastic pick decision. Either way. No, it's picking a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. You just grab the keys and go.
Exactly.
I'll take a Silverado any day.
I'll take his Ferrari.
I'll sell it and buy a Silverado and then pay my house off.
And then I took Jalen Waddle in the 4th round, and that wasn't like a next level move where I'm like, I think Tyreek Hill, and I've been saying this all off season. I think Tyreek Hill is due for regression, and I think this is the point you made earlier, Josh, is that the Dolphins really focused in on getting Tyreek to 2,000 yards last year, where they kind of force-fed him targets. And I see them doing less of that this year. I see them, not forcing the ball down Tyreek Hill's throat, Jalen Waddle's throat as well. I see them just spreading it out a little bit more and finding the open guy. I think they're going to be a more efficient offense. And in order to be a more efficient offense, Tyreek Hill needs to get 1,300 yards instead of 17. So I like that bold prediction.
Still great though. I'll take
of course.
1,300 yards and like 12 touchdowns. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it. Anthony, you have a bold prediction for us?
Yeah, I think your boy up in Nickel City Mafia got to me on this one because I think that Chop Robinson is going to play a lot, and I think Chop Robinson's going to have over 10 sacks on his way to Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
Oh my God! I'm going to tell Mike that you said that, Anthony. He's going to be so happy.
6 of the last 10 Defensive Rookie of the Years were pass rushers. 7 of the last 10 were on the front 7. I think we have no Chubb. We have no timetable for Chubb, which means, listen, the number one thing a rookie needs is opportunity, and he's got it. So he's going to grab the bull by the horns, and he is getting 10-plus sacks this season on his way.
Mike is going to be so happy.
I would be happy.
Has jumped on that train with him.
I'll make you look, guys. I'll make you a deal, and this is recorded, so I can't back out of it. If this happens, I will buy each one of you, including myself, a Chop Robinson jersey, and I will have it hand delivered to your house.
Let's go.
I love it. The Deep Zone just showed up. What's up, Finn's forecast?
What's going on?
Community. Just sub. It's going to be an interesting game this Sunday. Thanks for tuning in, Deep Zones. We really appreciate it. It is going to be an interesting game. It's going to be so much fun. I'm sure we're going to be texting throughout all of it, and
for sure.
It's going to be awesome. And then True Fin Fan 3. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for commenting. Let's see what else you got here. Absolutely agree. It's going to be an offense that uses tight end more, spreads it more, and runs more. No Tyreek to 2,000 Quest. That leads me to believe it's going to be a better offense. I couldn't agree with you more. Absolutely.
We all agree with that one.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So Steve, bold prediction.
So I have a question. What was our overall record last week as a cumulative team? Was it 13?
Yeah, we're 13-4.
Yeah. 13-4. So I think I was at 11. Keith was about 10.
I was
and
10.
And I don't see it being very. If you watch last week's show, you'll know. If you didn't, go watch it real quick. But you'll know that we all had different opinions, and I think that 3 games that we had winning are super easy to lose, which would automatically bring us down to 10. I don't think our defense is any more better than it was last year. If anything, even par. We've had plenty of conversation on the defense and how Josh feels, how Anthony feels, how I feel. We're all a little split down the middle until the season starts and we kind of see. But I think, an injury or 2 away from the Dolphins, maybe not even making double-digit wins. I would love to see at least 10 wins, but I see, our defense being the Achilles heel of this team. And if the Dolphins is running on high octane, I think, it's hard to beat us. But if we have a slow night and we got to rely on our defense, I think we're in for a miserable podcast that next day.
Jesus, Steve, you said hot take, not spicy take.
Yeah, spicy.
Let me ask you, Steve, because I was watching Game Day yesterday. They were doing their preview for the season, and it said in 30 years, every year for 30 years, at least 4 teams has changed in the playoffs. Are we one of those teams missing the playoffs this year?
No, I don't think the Bills are going to be any better than I think we're all going to be around 10-win teams. I think it's going to be an extremely competitive division, but I don't see I hope Aaron Rodgers doesn't get hurt. I want to see exciting football first and foremost. I do. I want to see people compete. I want to see people stay healthy. I want to see records broken. It's what makes football fun. It's what makes my wife watch football too. If it's exciting, it's fun to watch for everybody. So I wouldn't mind seeing some of these teams stay healthy throughout the season. But if the whole AFC East is healthy, we're all going to split 1-1, minus the Patriots. I don't think the Patriots get 7 wins this season.
I think they have the first overall pick next year.
They could. But, between the 3 powerhouses in the AFC East, I think we're all pretty equal that, if somebody has 11 wins, they might have the division. 11, 12 wins could win the division.
Let's see. True Fin fan. I disagree, Steven. Secondary better, linebackers better, and most of all, we have a defensive coordinator who will be more aggressive. No fans.
Our secondary is older, and our linebackers are smaller and faster. There's nobody stopping the run. We got no hands in the dirt.
Oh, Calais is here.
Man, he's
and Mo Kamara.
Look out for Agba.
Agba wasn't even on the team until he had to be.
But he's looked really good so far in this.
Yeah,
in this defensive scheme. In this defensive scheme, this is Agba friendly.
Yeah. I want a good defense. I'm sorry to cut you off, Keith. I want a good defense. Trust me. I want 12 wins. I want 13 wins. I want playoff wins. I want a Super Bowl. It's just I need to see the defense play before I can give you a little bit more optimism. But right now, I feel like I'm being a little bit more realistic than I am optimistic.
No, I love it. Look, at the end of the day, all BS aside, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and we could be 14 and whatever, or we could be 9 and so, you know what I mean? Like we genuinely don't know.
I mean, I can go outside and BS with any Keith and say, hey man, I truly think we're going to go 14-0. And I do think that in my heart, but for publicity and staying true to the NFL, I don't see us staying completely healthy, even up to a bye week. I don't see us stay. And that's what takes a good team. Like the teams that make it the farthest through the playoffs usually are the healthiest 9 out of 10 times. I mean, you do have them teams that just get hot because it's in the atmosphere, but to have that team is a lucky draw of straws to get. Nobody knows exactly how our locker room is. All the players are going to say it's good because that's what they want you to say. But until we get some wins, if we lose 2 of the first 4 games, do you think our locker room's happy? Like, I don't. You know what I mean? They can tell you they are, but up until we see the first couple wins, it's hard to stay optimist rather than realist.
Well,
Right, and I will. Sorry, go ahead, Keith.
go ahead, Josh.
Steve, I think you did hit the nail on the head. And I don't have the stats in front of me, but I was curious about this because I heard it on another media outlet. Teams like Kansas City, for example, it's just as much about talent as it is about being lucky.
Luck.
Right. Look, at the end of the day, the Super Bowl champions are not necessarily the most talented. They're the most lucky when it comes to injuries. Genuinely. And, I think the last couple of years, the injury, bug has not been too kind to us. We've been one of the most injured teams, I think, over the last 2 or 3 seasons in the NFL. And that luck has to change if we are going to make a deep postseason run. That is just the fact. We can be as talented. We could have every single stud star Pro Bowler on our team. If they're all injured, what the hell does it matter? You know what I mean?
We're trotting out Justin Houston and Melvin Ingram's corpses in the playoff game in San Francisco.
It's still,
that was brutal, and that was brutal to watch, but that's where we were at last year, especially on the defensive side of the ball. On the offensive side of the ball, we lost Connor Williams, and that was kind of the linchpin to our offensive line last year. Whereas the year before, it was Teron Armstead, who was kind of, when Teron Armstead was hurt, the offensive line wasn't very good. Well, last year, as soon as Connor Williams went down, the offensive line tanked. I think what the Dolphins need, as far as the injury woes go, you can't let one injured player tank an entire unit.
Yeah, it can't dictate the chemistry of the team.
But that's where I think our depth comes into play.
I agree.
I think we are a much deeper team. I said at the beginning of the show, we are less top-end talent because we lost Robert Hunt, we lost Christian Wilkins, we lost a ton of players.
Yep.
But I think from a depth standpoint, we are a much more talented team.
Absolutely. We took the money that we would have spent re-signing Christian Wilkins and Robert Hunt and spent that on 10, 15 guys. Legitimately.
Not to get derailed, but there in no world do you pay Christian Wilkins and Rob Hunt over $100 million. I'm sorry.
Maybe Christian Wilkins. Not Robert Hunt.
No, you don't pay.
We made that mistake with Sue back in the day. We don't make it again, right?
That's true. True Fins fan. So true. We generally don't know. I think Miami will be 11-6 again. I like it. Bills lost players. Jets got better. Patriots, in my opinion, are a little bit better. Patriots to me are a team that can sneak up on teams, but they're going to struggle to score points all season long.
I think you're going to see Milton ball out for them at some point this year. It's just what I want, but I do think we're going to see that.
I'd love to see Milton ball out for them because then we have ourselves a good old-fashioned quarterback controversy in New England.
And it's
we're going to start Milton or me.
And also, selfishly, I have him in my dynasty league, so I need him to.
Fair enough.
He's fun though. He's a fun guy to watch.
I don't know about grown men, but
that's to be honest, grown men. I'm 46, been a fan since '88. Well, thank you, True Fin fan. We really appreciate you tuning in, subscribing. We're all not quite 46, but we're not far off either.
Not far, unfortunately.
But yeah, it's great to have you on. And again, guys, we do this show every Wednesday at 7:00. We're going to preview all the Dolphins games. We're going to, talk about what happened in the previous game. So next week we'll be talking about what happened in the Jaguars game, in addition to what's going on with the Bills game next week. And in the offseason, we're going to be talking about draft and free agency. And so this is going to be a year-round journey with the four of us. So everybody who's tuning in, like and subscribe. We really appreciate all your patronages. All right, so I'm going to go back to you here, Josh. You had one more hot take.
I was so excited about this take because I in my gut.
Let's hear it. I'm excited too.
Yes, in my gut, I know this is going to happen. So if you and I'm sorry, I don't have the numbers in front of me. But if you tally up all of the receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns from our entire tight end room last season, I think Jonnu Smith surpasses them all by himself.
I love it.
I would love that too.
You don't have that number there, Josh? You don't have that
No,
number?
I think roughly it was like, I think it was 51 receptions total. It was 420 something total yards, and I think it was like 3 or 4 touchdowns. It was something like that.
I think 41.
I hope I eat my words from 30 minutes ago for the whole season. I really do, because if that's the hot take, I'm happy. I have him on my fantasy team. He's on the bench, but I have him.
That's where he belongs until he can, until anything starts
until
happening.
proven. I have hope, but realistically, I see the ball going elsewhere. But I freaking hope so. I love that take. It would be amazing to get our tight end moving.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
dying on this mountain.
Dude,
I swear.
Great tight ends make it far, and I mean, if you count all the Super Bowl winners with great tight ends, it's almost every year there's one. If it's not, Kittle don't have one, but Gronk has them. Kelsey. I was about to say who won it last year. Of course, the Chiefs. I can't stand it. That's why I forgot, because I hate them.
They only need to score 1 touchdown to outdo the guys last year. So I mean,
yeah.
But in all honesty, I can totally see where Josh is coming from on that one, because I don't think we've had, and this is something that we alluded to earlier in the show, I don't think we've had such a complete tight end in the building since
McMichael, I think. Right?
I was going to say Randy McMichael too, and that's absolutely insane to say and think about.
It's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. I was still in middle school when Randy McMichael was the Dolphins quarterback.
Tight end. I hope he wasn't playing.
Tight end.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Am I mistaken? And I know he didn't work out if we did get him, but for some reason I have a vivid memory of us getting Jimmy Graham for a season. Did we get him, or was that a pat?
We talked to him.
Okay,
that's what it was. We had him in the building.
Yeah. All right.
So I he's another one. He's a Mike Gesicki. He doesn't block. He just receives.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, he's easy to. He had one good season with the Saints, and
he had a bunch of good seasons with the Saints.
Drew Brees is the only quarterback that was able to put him on the map.